Good morning, Alisa. It's a pleasure to host you at another flight level special. And I'm a little bit selfish here. I really wanted to talk with you because I remember when we met at Klar a few years ago in Meyerhofen. And since that day, we didn't actually talk. And now I see that you are like a very important part of Flight Levels Academy. So I'm so curious about your journey, what were you up to, and what are your next plans. But for our audience who doesn't know you as good as I, could you just tell a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Morning, Justina. I'm also really enjoying seeing your smile this morning because, yes, I think we saw each other for the last time for 4 years or something before Corona. So really pleasure to see you again. Yes, my journey got farther since we met. So actually, I'm doing quite the same stuff, but with more I don't know experience maybe and different perspectives. So I'm an agile coach and trainer in Germany in my town in Munich, and as all of us also online. So. And I joined the Flight Level Academy since I don't know since a couple of years, and last year I joined the Flight Levels coaching program with Klaus and Siege, and it was a great fun and very inspiring. And after that, I also started to okay,
so we can stop there, no worries. So I will just come back to the beginning of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's wonderful. I'm very happy of your journey, but if you could just tell us a little bit more, because if I understand correctly, you were also AKT. So what brought the AKT person to the flight level space? What do you think is there for other Kanban practitioners?
In my trainings as an AKT, the participants show the great interest in the topics about the scaling with the Kanban. And I found it very inspiring and helpful to widen my perspective of topics of scaling with ideas from flight levels. So it was the first interesting topic for me to get deeper. And after that, also the topics about the guiding the change, about the change flow. It was also something that I really enjoying. Get deeper in these topics, also with the people experiencing Kanban.
And what does it mean, change flow?
This idea of guiding the change, the way we're doing when we are talking about the value flow. So kind of this same paradigm, not to planning at front and actively build on the new experiences and informations that pop up on the way, on the journey, because it's a journey, a change. So it's an iterative approach, very involving people who are part of the change or who are driving and experiencing the change. That's why I think also this name, Change Flow, it's very, very nice and shows the intent behind this change approach.
Yeah, indeed, because it's not the static. You cannot actually plan the change. Like, it always makes me laugh when people plan the agile transformation for the next 1-2 years and everything that will happen on the way. But yeah, you cannot plan for future with such a level of the confidence. But can you just tell us a little bit more about your flight levels coaching experience? Because you also said that you are agile coach. And for some people, it might be like, agile coach, flight levels coach, what's the difference?
This word agile is kind of really messy, so I try not to use it at all. Since years, I'm joined organizations who wanted to improve their way of business agility, but kind of the way they deal on the market and the way they deal with innovation. And my focus since a couple of years, it's interactions between the teams and the organizations who are struggling with creating focus among the teams. So kind of not only within different teams, but kind of connecting them. And I started to use this flight level model as a coaching model for myself and for the people I'm working with to create the shared understanding and they create the shared language. And I found it's really inspiring to use this flight levels metaphor to create the shared understanding of the situation in the organization, and experimented with ideas of creating flight levels topology without calling it flight levels topology, but kind of the way of creating visualization of the operational structure among the organization, behind the structure or like organigrams. And this idea of visualizing how the work flows through the organization, it was something that very resonated with the participants of the workshops I was engaged in. It was the aha moments, where people say, oh, now I'm understanding that we kind of have a lot of ways the work flows through the teams or for the systems, and actually it's too complex. We don't need it so much. We need some more structure, some more clarity, and it was this moment that brought me to the idea I want to use it more because it's really powerful.
So was it hard for you to bring the flight levels topology and the idea into the organization?
The example I have in my mind, it was the idea was to create this transparency about the initiatives within the organization and to conduct them among each other, kind of create the harmony a little bit. And the crucial moment was the workshop I was facilitating with the managers of this organization, where we just shared with each other, with the room, the statistics about the projects who are finished till dato. So we combined the estimated lead time for the projects with the real lead time. So I was happy this organization really had this data.
Oh, yes.
For a couple of years. So kind of they could really look at the estimations and their reality. And reality was kind of really horrible, because the insight was it's not about how big the project is. It's about how many projects simultaneously will try to work on. And the result is they are kind of the duration is forever.
So it doesn't matter when we start.
Size doesn't matter. So it's kind of, really is a couple of years or I don't know, 1 month. Its size doesn't matter, and it was really eye opener for this group, and the willingness to start finishing was born after this meeting, and that was the starting point of creating focus among the projects, among the whole organization. And I introduced this idea of that we could look at the work from the different perspectives, from different flight levels, and it resonates a lot with the group.
So first you put the spotlight on the burning problem. You show that there is the burning problem that everyone can see with the data. And then you suggested okay, that's the perspective that we can use from the flight levels to solve it on the strategic, operational, and collaboration level. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And tell us a little bit more, because you did the flight levels coaching program. We kind of touched upon that one. But if you look right now on your flight levels guide path, what's the difference between the guide and the coach?
It's a good question. The intent for me to be in a guide was idea of business development for the company I'm working with. We are the organization development company in Munich called Improve, and as a AKT, I was part of the Kanban community, and since I was really using the flight levels paradigm in my coaching work, I talked to my colleagues and other coaches and said or asked them if they are also the how do they stay to the idea of introducing this model, this tool set as part of our company's portfolio. So it was idea of business development, of broadening of the portfolio of Improve with this package.
Okay. And actually that's something crazy, because when I remember the first time I heard about Flight Levels Academy was 6 years ago, and I saw I think the Klaus talk online. Then 4 years ago Klaus came to Krakow for the ACE conference, and for me at that point Klaus was the only person that was talking about flight levels. And now a few years later we talk with you and about the perspective of the company that wants to improve their portfolio of training and services with flight levels. So I think that's the best testimonial on actually showing that the idea literally took off. But can you just maybe tell us a little bit more? So being the guide means that you walk into the organization that's struggling, obviously, with business agility, with maybe lack of visualization, with the delivery, communication, and whatever you call it. You help them to guide the change, to guide the transformation if they are in that path. But you are also able to support them with the trainings, yes?
Yes, that's the bigger part for me. So as a coach, I was my understanding of the flight level coach is the person who is facilitating the change in the organization or bring the people together who are facilitating the change of the organization and brings the flight level ideas to change, to organizing the change and tooling. And flight level guide, in my perspective, the person who is also able to train the people who are guiding the change.
Okay. So now you have the 360 perspective, I would say.
I hope so. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you also mentioned the aha moment for the organization when you brought in the data and you told them about flight levels. But do you remember an aha moment for you when you started working with flight levels?
Yes. The very first was, I think, 2019, as I was part of one of the first flight level architecture trainings with Klaus. This idea of flight level topology and flight routes. It was my first aha moment, that because of the language and the visualization and simplicity, actually.
Ah, yes.
And flexibility of the concept, because the idea of flight level topology is that we need to develop it for the concrete organization. It's not enough just to roll out some scaled framework, and it's more flexible to develop it kind of each time for the concrete organization using some principles. It was my very first aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
And my second aha moment was the idea of change flow, because it was something that we to improve also using in our work with the clients, and I could reach the or connect the concept we're using in our company with change flow from Flight Level Academy, and to get it more precise, and for us as a coaches, as also for the clients, to get understanding of what the journey they are starting in, and also this mix of getting some perspective, getting the direction, but also this message of it should be adjusted on the way, and it's a kind of the first hypothesis we have all together with information we get now, and with each next step we will adjust our hypothesis, we will prove them or challenge them and adjust the way.
And you mentioned a few times simplicity. Do you think like flight levels thinking model is a tool that would be like useful for any agile transformation because of its simplicity and easily possibility to be adapted, that everyone can actually use it, each organization is capable of using it?
I don't know if every organization it's kind of a big word, but
sorry.
Yes, but from my experience, this model and tooling behind it is so adjustable to the context that it could be used to improve the methodology or way of working in the organization in each context. So kind of if the organization is doing safe, it's perfect to improve the way it's doing safe, or other scaling framework. That's why, yes, I think it's really nice way of thinking to create the common language, the common pragmatic way of improving the situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, it's crazy because while you were talking and you mentioned like you can do save and then use Flight Levels Academy to make it better, immediately in my head I had like the metaphor that's flight levels, it's like spices, you know, for cooking. No matter what you cook, if you add a little bit, you know, chili pepper or salt or whatever, your dish will be better at the end. So you don't have to change your cooking idea. Okay, I love my new metaphor right now.
I love your metaphor as well, yes.
Oh, that's a perfect, teamwork. So thank you for the inspiration. So maybe last question. Is there anything that you would like to tell to the whole world when it comes to your journey with the Flight Levels Academy, when it comes to you being the coach or guide, like any one message, if you could send to the agile population, what would you say?
You don't need to be perfect to start and to succeed on the journey of change. So as a coach, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers from the very beginning. It was my learning to free myself from this, kind of expectation of myself. We are also allowed to learn on the way and to grow with the companies we are supporting or facilitating the change in. It's okay. So we are okay.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that resonates with me so much because like even recently I put a sticky note, right, just here on my computer that says doing the right thing is more important than doing the thing in the right way. So that's like we just made like the perfect punchline for today, and I'm extremely happy with it. So Alisa, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure that you inspired a lot of people to bring the change flow into their organization, to understand that they don't have to change the dish. They can just add a little bit of spice of Flight Levels into their business agility, and it will work out for them. And thank you for sharing your story on how to move to Flight Levels with such a big and strong Kanban background. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well.